Deal analyzer time. All right, let's get down to it. This is the MAO calculator, maximum allowable offer calculator, and trying to keep it as simple as possible and get rid of everything else that doesn't have to be focused on right now. As you get into this more and more, there's lots of complexities to this that you can get into and really dial everything in. For the time being, there's 6 major inputs to take us successfully to our goal. Remember, stay objective and conservative on the purchase and you will overperform on the return. There are no guarantees on returns, and you need to develop your own investment parameters that align with your risk tolerance and experience. Just a little disclosure there to get going, and understanding that you're going to get out of investing what you put into it. You want to confirm everything, verify everything that I'm saying. Go ahead, get it confirmed. You know, real estate agent, property manager, CPA, attorney, all of that stuff helps you get to where you're going. And this little spreadsheet here is a good way of putting together some information so that you can evaluate these properties. The major inputs here, and the 6 major inputs, start off with number 1, the rental income. And we looked at how to develop that, right? This is number 1 right here. It goes in this box. And number 2 is after repair value right here in number 2. Number 3 is the purchase price. And a little note I have in here is don't hesitate to lower the purchase price until the numbers work for you, no matter how far off it is from the asking price. Don't worry about somebody's feelings. This is math. This is business at that perspective. How many times that I've gotten into a situation where I've moved my offer close to what somebody's asking rather than where I can be. And that always it will come back to bite you all the time. So don't be afraid to move the purchase price down where it's at, where it needs to be. You can put in there where their starting point is, but you have your investment objectives that you're hitting, and you have to make that purchase price hit those investment objectives, or else it's not a deal. Construction management and repairs. So that's on spreadsheet. That's on a different tab. So if you click on the repairs tab down here, this pops up. One thing you note too is on here, where these arrows are the only place that I'm asking you to put information in. Everything else is not important right now. So until we get through this and get through making this simple and easy for you, these are the data entry points, 1, 2, 3, and then you click the repairs tab down here, you put your information in here. And you'll see me go through this stuff on the next module where we're doing some examples. That's where I'm putting my information in. I'm not touching, I never touch these. The only time I touch this down here is if I change the equation inside of there, but never enter anything in here. And also here too, this is figuring automatically as well too. And it will pull over into this sheet automatically. And number 5 is the LTV. We always like starting out around 75%, and in between the 70 and 80%. And you'll see that we'll match our investment parameters that way too. When I don't want to get over 25,000 actual cash invested, I don't want to get over 130 in my loan amount. And if I do, then my monthly adjusted net has to come up proportionately as well too. So number 5 is LTV. And then the final one, number 6, is the mortgage interest rate, which is crazy now. So number 6, 1 is rental income. 2 is after repair value. 3 is the purchase price. Don't be afraid to put it where you need to put it. And 4, we click the repair tab down on the bottom, and we enter in these cells our repairs. And 5, we go back to the loan value, the LTV. I have it set at 75. That's typically where I'll start on that. The mortgage interest rate, we have that in there as well too. So now let's jump over into some actual examples of this sheet. But first, do not enter cells into the X's. Obviously, I said that. All assumed data and conditional formatting should be adjusted to your specific deal investment criteria. So take a look at that for a second. I've got property taxes in here at 2,000. That's, we typically will stay there or under there. And for the insurance, we'll typically be around 1,000, 1,200 in our markets that we're in. But that's going to be relevant to what market you're in. So make sure that as you get going, you can adjust all these other cells. You can adjust these. You can, if you have to cover utilities, if you have snow, lawn care, or HOAs, you can adjust all of that stuff. If you're running 15-year terms, which I don't think you will be, but you can adjust that to 15 years and months. Anything else? If you have different vacancy or maintenance rates, you can adjust those. You can adjust a different management fee. That's all stuff that you could adjust. But for now, focus on the 6 major inputs. Let's roll over and take a look at some examples. In these examples, last little note, all returns are shown as the 1 year stabilized. So that first year, the property stabilized, meaning there's a tenant in there and I'm collecting rent. That's when these returns happen. So that's a stabilized year, 1 year. And the depreciation is calculated at 37% tax bracket and does not include cost of land. It does not exclude cost of land. Very important. And again, you can dive into that stuff and change that stuff. Right now, 80-20, focus on this, getting where you need to be. None of that is going to affect you coming out of the gate. You got the 6 entries: the rental income, after repair value, purchase price, construction management and repairs, loan to value, LTV, and mortgage interest rate. Let's get a couple of these deals run through and show you some examples.